This is JJ Solomon.
This Commey Bradshaw, Mr. RTBA. Mr. These boys can't touch me on my worst day. And this is the Spit Bucket Podcast.
The Spit Bucket Speed Bag is brought to you by Diggles Elite Clean.
Man, oh man, what a month for the lightweight division, man. We had some great fights, great action. First off, Kambosos versus Teofimo Lopez for the undisputed lightweight championship. What are your thoughts, Mr. Corey Bradshaw?
Hey man, first off, shout out to George Kambosos Jr. You understand me? He came in there, he put on an excellent performance. He been telling us for the last year that he was going to go in there and he was going to defeat Teofimo Lopez, and that's what he did. And this is what Teofimo Lopez get. Now, he's the one who been talking about humble pie for the last year. Now, him and his pops, they are the ones who have to eat that humble pie. I think this is great for the lightweight division. This is what we needed, JJ. We needed some land changing to make all these boxers understand ain't nothing promised.
No, absolutely, bro. I think Teofimo Lopez drank the Kool-Aid because ESPN was just pumping in the juice. He beat Lomachenko, which I personally had at 7-5 for Loma, but I can see how that fight will go anyway. But I think the public drank the Kool-Aid, the networks drank the Kool-Aid, and most importantly, Teofimo Lopez and his pops drank the Kool-Aid because they were absolutely blindsided. They didn't have a backup plan for that fight, and Kambosos came out and showed that he's a star. He's a star with an entire country backing him down in Australia. So I'm excited to see what Kambosos' future holds. I'm excited to see what he's got.
And it's also a note to all the young fighters across the world. Take boxing seriously. Don't become champion and get lazy.
Absolutely. Lazy and don't stop partying.
Hey, JJ, man, we had Devin Haney versus Jojo Diaz. He retained his regular WBC World Championship. What's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts were that fight went exactly the way I thought it would be. Devin Haney took a lot of criticism from his last fight, calling him a boring fighter. And I felt that he was going to come out and make a statement. I thought he was going to, I didn't expect a knockout. I expected a decisive decision. I thought it was going to be 12 rounds of the boxer being the boxer. Haney has his critiques where we can get him at. There's holes in his game, but I still think Haney is a wonderful boxer. I think Haney's a young boxer with a lot to grow to. And I think Haney did what he had to do to put his name on the map for that shot against Kambosos.
Oh, absolutely. I think Haney did what he was supposed to do, just like, other fighters, when they hear the noise, when you get criticized by not doing everything that you could do to put on the show to make it entertaining for the fans. I think he heard all that. Absolutely. I didn't expect Jojo Diaz to come in there and lay down, which he didn't. He came in there and he made Haney work for that victory. But like you said, Haney sat down on his punches. He made a statement. He came in there to fight, and he brought entertainment. That's the main thing, entertainment. It's not always about skill, but it's about entertainment.
And just real quick on this, I expected Haney to be running and securing that last 12 round, but you know what impressed me most about that Haney fight? That 12th round, he came out and took some chances when he didn't have to. And he came out and put it all on the line to impress the fans, to entertain the fans.
And then one more thing, JJ, a lot of boxers say, oh, they don't hear us talking about how they not entertained. Well, then if y'all don't hear us, why y'all come out there and put on performances the next fight like
Absolutely.
That? But salute to Devin Haney.
No, salute, absolutely. We had, right after that, the very next Sunday, Gervonta Tank Davis against Isaac the Pitbull Cruz. Nobody's seen that coming in as a real fight, but what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, the thoughts is I thought Tank won the fight. I know it was a lot of criticism, because everybody's talking about, oh, it was a close fight. Yeah, it was a close fight, but it was clear and decisive that Tank Davis won that fight.
7-5, 8-4.
But my thing, the biggest thing is these pay-per-view numbers that came out. I heard between 30 and 60,000, 30 and 100,000. That's what people say. But a good source to me told me between 30 and 60,000. And what they told me, Mr. J.J. Solomon, that Tank Davis to Floyd Mayweather and Crayola Gautier and Leonard Ellaby ain't that big of a star like they thought he was.
Ninja Turtle face, Leonard Ellaby. Man, I hope that was a humbling experience for you. Yeah, man, I love what Tank did. Tank hurt his hand in the 5th or 6th round. He was fighting one-handed. Pitbull Cruz came out with a hell of a performance. He put it on the line, and like Tank said, a star was born. But I think we need to settle down with his robbery or whatever. Cruz did a hell of a job. Tank outboxed him for the second half of the fight with one hand. And again, he put his name on the map. Cruz did for big fights. And Tank showed that he belonged there in the talks as as one of the top fighters at 135.
Hey, now we have Vasily Lomachenko versus Richard Commey. Vasily Lomachenko went there and put on a hell of a performance.
Oh, man.
What's your thoughts, JJ?
Bro, Vasily Lomachenko, to me, a lot of people, he gets a lot of criticism, a lot of talk to him because they say he hadn't done anything. But look at the top fight. Most of his, 90% of his fights have been for title fights. He won a title fight in his second fight, and I'm not trying to go back into history, but what he did with Gary Russell Jr. in his second fight of his professional career was beyond amazing. And he came back after a loss to Teofimo Lopez, and he ran circles, squares, triangles, parallelograms, rhombuses. He outboxed a class fighter, a great fighter like Richard Commey. And I think Vasily Lomachenko really said, hey guys, don't forget about me. I'm still the king in this division. I love what I saw out of Lomachenko.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And one thing about Lomachenko in that fight, like he showed pity. Like he showed pity. He had Richard Commey out of there, and he showed pity. This just go back to our argument on when we saying when the trainer needs to stop the fight. You say, it was a decisive victory, and Lomachenko was winning decisively, correct?
That wasn't even close.
So, and my thing right here is when we criticize Kenny Porter and say, oh, he stopped the fight too early. We seen Richard Commey take too many unnecessary punches that he didn't need to take.
And Loma was begging for them to stop it.
Begging.
He's looking over the corner saying, stop his fight. Looking at the ref, stop his fight. So I appreciate what he did. I also think he didn't want to look too good. I know this sounds stupid, but I don't think he wanted to go out there and just mop the floor with Commey because then he might not get the shot against Kambosos. He might not get the big fights if he would have gone there and then just knocked out Commey clean after dominating him for 6 or 7 rounds.
But even with him, if you say he wasn't trying to do that, he did that.
He did it. The
Matrix went in there and showed us he still is the Matrix with that performance.
Oh my goodness.
He put on, and he had to put on a stunning performance because if he didn't, then his name wouldn't be floating up there at top where everybody's saying we want to see Kambosos versus Lomachenko.
So right now, with everything we saw, those 4 weeks of just great lightweight boxing, who's the king?
It's no doubt in my mind, clearly, JJ and everybody from the 214 to across the pond, no debating, George Kambosos. He beat the man who beat the man. He the best 135 right now.
I respect Kambosos. I think he's great for boxing. I love what he's doing. But to me, Lomachenko made that statement that he's back and he's getting his throne back. So I'm excited to see what Loma's got. I'm excited for the rest of the division. These guys need to fight each other, though. They need to fight.
Hey, Kambosos, you know, he made a statement against Teofimo Lopez, who beat your guy in Lomachenko. So it's clear-cut, no debating. In my eye, Kambosos is the emperor.
We'll see what he's got.
DC with Diggers Elite Clinic, y'all. We have 2 deodorizers here. What we specialize in is one of the things that makes our brand stand out. When you come clean your home, you can get one of this is one of our deodorizers. It's a little icy, but most of our customers love it. But if there's something going on in your home, it's that smell that you cannot get rid of, hit us up. This is the deodorizer that you might want to use. I don't care if you got a skunk in the building. This is gonna basically get rid of that smell.
TSB, This Week in Boxing History, brought to you by BF Configurations. So this week in boxing history, it was a sweet science.
Hey man, happy birthday man to Tommy Morrison, man. January the 3rd, RIP to the Duke, man. Legendary for his role in Rocky V, man. Much love. That dude right there was a sensation when I was a kid growing up.
Yep, he was a hell of a boxer. He did his thing on Rocky V. Tommy Morrison, man, unfortunately he had too many demons, but the dude was a man That fight with Ray Mercer, though, was the first time I ever thought somebody was dying in the ring. Y'all go check it out, the Ray Mercer, Tommy Morrison highlights. What do we got next? January 4th, 1972, heavyweight from Puerto Rico, John Ruiz. Oh, God, the most overrated, in my opinion, boring boxer in the history of the heavyweight division. What are your thoughts on John Ruiz?
Hey, man, just happy birthday to
Happy
John
birthday
Ruiz,
to you,
man.
brother.
Shout out to Puerto Rico, the Siete Ocho Siete for having the heavyweight champion, man.
Hey, man.
Also, JJ, this week in boxing history.
Hide your nuts. Hide your nuts.
Bang, Mr. Below the Belt himself, Andrew Galata.
Yeah, man, Andrew Galata. I remember that first fight with Riddick Bowe. He was putting it on Riddick Bowe. He was surprising the world, but the dude could not stop hitting him in the jewels, in the baby sack. Yeah, so he's famous for 2 disqualifications against Riddick Bowe. He fought Tyson, and he was getting a little rough with Tyson, but he just quit. But hey, from Poland, happy birthday, Andrew Galata. That's January 5th. We got a fan of the show, a member of our group, Larry the Legend Donald, January 6, 1967, gold medalist.
Shout out to Larry Donald, man, a gold medalist, man. We appreciate your support in the Spit Bucket podcast group on Facebook, man. Shout out to him, man. Gold medal Olympian. The one thing, I remember about Larry Donald is when Riddick Bowe took that sucker punch at him. But hey, happy birthday, Larry.
Yeah, that's 2 Riddick Bowe references, and it had nothing to do with this week. But boy, Riddick Bowe clean cut me living the hell out of Larry Donald before that press conference.
Say, it's a song. It's a song.
It's a song.
Hey, you my boy, Larry.
Hey, bro, yeah. Happy birthday, January 6th. Hey, here's a big one. This isn't a birthday. This is a sad day, but January 7th, 2000, legendary matchmaker, big president to Madison Square Garden, Madison Square Boxing. Teddy Brenner passed away January 7th, 2000. So RIP to Mr. Brenner. Thanks for what you did to the sport, but man, he's known for putting together
Muhammad Ali versus Frazier.
Yeah.
Just Madison Square events, being a hell of a matchmaker. RIP to him.
To Teddy Brenner, yeah, he put George Foreman's first fights on the map. Ali Frazier, all these first fights, he was a big part of the boxing scene up in New York. He kind of finished off his career with Top Rank and Bob Arum, but much respect to Mr. Brenner. And then to close it out, today, January 2nd, is the birthday of one of the all-time greats.
And Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. When I tell you, if you're a young boxer in this world and you want to go see magic and artistry at its finest, go look up some Pernell Whitaker clips. That dude was just amazing.
Yeah, Pernell Whitaker. As a kid, man, he liked that bad guy role. He played that villain, and I'll be straight up. I didn't appreciate Pernell Whitaker's skill set and what he brought to the ring until I was a grown-up. But I did understand when he fought Julio Cesar Chavez and they gave it a draw down in San Antonio, Texas, and all of these fans started throwing stuff in the ring. That was a big robbery. Pernell Whitaker deserved that fight. He put up a hell of an effort against De La Hoya. A lot of people think Pernell Whitaker won that fight. I think De La Hoya won that fight. It was a good close fight, but man, one of the greatest defensive fighters all the time. If you're new to the sport, just Google search and do some YouTubes on Pernell Whitaker. The man was untouchable.
Hey, all you heard is young fighters saying, Pernell Whitaker, this defensive, just his footwork, placement, mid to long range. Like, a lot of people have him on their list as one of the best, or if not the best ever. But happy birthday.
Happy birthday. And
Pernell Whitaker, man.
R.I.P. and happy birthday to one of the greats. I will say that what he did to the sport really set the tone for folks like Floyd Mayweather to realize it's about hitting and not getting hit. So RIP, happy birthday, Sweet Pea Whitaker. We appreciate what you did to the sport. And that's this week in boxing history.
Yes, sir.
TSB Spitter is brought to you by the Crib Cashers. You need to sell your home quick, skip the repairs, any condition, any situation, no closing costs, no realtor commission, and have a cash offer for your home in 24 hours. Just call 214-494-1340 or visit thecribcashers.com. That's thecribcashers.com.
What was so great for boxing, in my spit of the week, JJ, Mauricio Suleiman informing Devin Haney and Bill Haney that George Kambosos is the 135-pound undisputed champion. Now, it's like fans out here. Y'all delusional. Y'all keep asking him like it's a subject. He say he's getting irritated of it. He informed Devin Haney and his daddy that Devin Haney is the regular champion. Like Mauricio Suleiman said, people can't understand change, and with time come change. And I'm glad that Mauricio Suleiman, the president of the WBC, made it clearly, no debating, that George Kambosos is the 135-pound undisputed champion of the world.
I'm waiting on some action to jump off in here. You heard what Mr. Molly said? We're top flight security of the world, Craig.
Man, shout out to 7-8 Sports TV. The dude is spitting facts. That's my spit of the week. We've been hearing Ellerby, Floyd, complaining to fans for disrespecting the fighters, for streaming fights and stealing from the fighters. Do you not remember a couple years ago? Floyd in a ski mask saying, bro, this is highway robbery. We're robbing the fans.
What I want to say is this. You guys have to show the fans that you respect their money. You respect the dollars that you're receiving. We don't want to hear about it's a stick up. Ooh, this easy money. We just come steal the money. I don't want to hear that. Okay? I don't want to hear that.
So I'm so glad that we got to hear somebody's perspective saying you have to value our money. Like you guys are the entertainment. We're the fans. You can't just completely on our hard-earned money by putting together these fights. So no, I think Tank Davis is an excellent fighter. I think he's absolutely great. But A, you should not put boxing up against the NFL. It's not going to work. I don't care who you are. Floyd Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya, it's not going to work. B, do not be complaining to the fans for streaming fights when the king of y'all's promotion company, Floyd Mayweather, was bragging about robbing and stealing from the fans for all the years, especially there towards the end of his career. So no, don't push at us. Put on better fights. It's a loaded division. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, shout out to 78 Sports TV. I agree with him 100%.
You got that fight. You won that fight.
Won that fight. Jojo Diaz, I mean, he did okay. He didn't lay down, but Oscar De La Hoya, listen, bro, I used to love you as a fighter. And you, of all people, know what it feels like to get robbed. You know, I feel you got robbed by the Tito Trinidad fight. You know how much it hurts? Why are you going to tell your fighter that you won a fight? Dog, I don't know what you're on. Well, we do know what he's on, yeah, but dog, you can't be lying to your fight. You can't be blowing up your fighters, just blatantly lying. You won that fight. Jojo Diaz, even Jojo looked at him like, man, I don't know. I don't think I won that fight. I don't know, man. What are your thoughts on Oscar? Just real quick. Real quick.
Man, you know, it's just Oscar being Oscar. You know, Oscar in his heydays, as much money as he got, when you can get the finest of everything, if you know what I mean, that's Oscar De La Hoya.
Man, I love you, Oscar, but bro, stop lying to your fans. Stop lying to your fighters. Jojo Diaz didn't win that fight. He must have been feeling real nice and saucy that night, but that is my shit of the week.
Earl Spence Jr. and all his fans, let me holler at you, because y'all are my shit of the week. JJ.
Oh boy.
When Keith Thurman had both titles, and all Earl Spence fans, including myself at the time, we were all saying, Keith Thurman, you ducking Earl Spence, right or wrong?
Absolutely, and it's pissing everybody off.
So now you got Earl Spence who making up all these excuses, being quiet, talking about social media, because you're quiet, it makes you think it's weakness. No, Earl, you were that same guy who was all in the videos calling out Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, and Sean Porter, saying I shouldn't be a champion. I shouldn't be a champion and have to call these guys out. Wasn't that you? Now, karma, it came back around in my Forrest Gump voice. Something bit me.
Hell yeah.
That's my shit of the week.
Bro, what happened to strap season? Like now he got his strap and now it's just no boxing season. So listen, man, I got much love for Spence. I think Spence is one of the top welterweights, if not the top welterweight. He's 1-2, however you want to look at it. But come on, man. Stop playing these silly games, Earl. I'm a big fan, you know what I'm saying? But what happened to strap season, dog? You can't just get your straps and then just fall off the face of the planet. Now, hey, what we got for one? Look at the number one contenders.
Virgil Ortiz, number one in the WBC. Boots Ennis, number one contender in the IBF. It's like, it's nowhere to go now. So Earl and his fans, what y'all gonna do? Because y'all gonna have to fight one of them dogs. Either it's gonna be Terrence Crawford, JJ, where you can make the most money.
Yep.
Or you gonna take that high risk, low reward fight and fighting two dogs who hungry in Virgil Ortiz and Boots Ennis. I mean, they starving. They're slobbering like a rockwaller who ain't ate in weeks.
Bro, if I was Spence, Spence knows what that hunger feels like. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Spence vacate those titles. I wouldn't be surprised to see Spence move up. Because right now, based on what we see, it looks like Spence wants no part of Bud, Boots, or Virgil. And I don't know why, because Spence, you got all the talent in the world, brother.
And the reason why this is my shit of the week, JJ, that same energy, Earl Spence and all his fans, y'all gave Keith Thurman and all of them. Y'all getting that same energy back. Now y'all all tight. Now it's about business. Man, stop playing with me.
Here it comes!
TSB main event brought to you by Overhead Door Pros. Fellas, if you can't get it up, you need to call Overhead Door Pros. These guys get the job done right and get out fast. You can call them at 817-689-9906 or visit www.garagedoorsorus.com, on facebook.com, Overhead Door Pros.
Canelo Alvarez. I mean, the number one pound for pound fighter in a lot of people pound for pound list is moving up the cruiserweight to fight Makabu.
Who?
I mean Makabu.
Who?
Makabu.
Can you use that in a sentence?
For the title.
All right.
What's your thoughts on it, Mr. JJ Solomon?
Oh boy, man, my thoughts on this. Who is Makabu? Why are we moving up to cruiser? I get it. How sweet and how he's licking his chops for that fifth division. I get it, because it's gonna look beautiful on paper one day. But you have a loaded 168 division. You got 160 pounders that have been calling you out for a minute. And yeah, I know they're not active. But why can't, you're an entertainer, like we said, we pay these guys bills. They gotta give what the fans want. Why are you going up to fight the least dangerous of the cruiserweights, when he can come out here and make a career payday? He could shut up his haters. I think Canelo wipes out 160 to 168. What's the point? Why are you doing it? I think it's a ridiculous move. I think it's a bad look for boxing.
What you mean it's a bad move for boxing? That's Canelo Alvarez. And let me rebuttal you talking about you can make the most money. It don't matter who Canelo fight. JJ Solomon, it don't matter who he fight. He could fight you tomorrow, and he's still gonna get the same payday. Because guess what? He Canelo Alvarez. He's the creme de la creme of boxing. JJ, he's the creme de la creme of boxing. Stop acting like this is new to you. This ain't new. We done seen this in history. All fighters who the creme de la creme get treated differently, sir.
My problem with that is not, listen, I get what Canelo's doing. If you can, why the hell not? My problem is with the boxing criticism that he's taken. Listen, when Floyd Mayweather finished off the second half of his career with McGregor, Berto, Guerrero. Bro, there was fights that could have been had. And I'm not saying Floyd would have lost those fights. I was just as upset with Floyd as I am with Canelo now. So my real aggression comes to the fan bases who were okay with Floyd doing what he did, taking not the easy route. There's nothing easy about this sport, all right? But taking the easier route to 50-0. Just like in my opinion, Canelo's taking the easier route to undisputed. Don't get me wrong, man. These guys are champs.
How can he take the easy? Hold up.
He took the
How can he take the easier route when David Benavidez lost his belt on the scale, bro?
I'm not talking about David Benavidez wasn't a title holder. I'm talking about Liam Smith.
Okay, they was the title holders.
He's taking the easier route to a paper legacy. the easier route.
See, this is the thing right here. You say he taking an easier route. Like Floyd Mayweather, you mentioned him fighting them guys he did later in his career. He earned that because everybody he fought up until then, he was in some real fights. This is the thing that pisses me off about fans when they talk about Canelo and they talk about this 160-pound division. Who give a damn about the 160-pound division when they won't even fight each other? So you just want them to get the icing on the cake and get the Canelo.
Macaboo's getting the icing on the cake.
It don't matter. It's Canelo going to 30 pounds, JJ.
Listen, that's another thing. Canelo, if you do this fight with Macaboo with no weight restrictions, then I'll shut the hell up.
JJ, who are you?
You can't go up to a weight class, and yeah, I know the WBC lowered it to 190 for Canelo.
Why can't you?
Why can't you go in and change hundreds of years of boxing rules and weight division?
Hold up, see, you acting like Canelo just doing this, like it's just out of the ordinary. Ain't Canelo that same who got it did to him when Floyd Mayweather made him as a champion come down to 152?
My problem is with the double standards. Half the boxing population is talking shit about Canelo for doing this, and they supported Mayweather. Like, I'm not saying you. I'm talking about the fans that talk shit all day about Canelo, but they're huge Mayweather fans. And then on the other side, the Canelo fans who talk shit about Mayweather running and picking his fights, but they're totally cool with Canelo. Listen, if you're going to take that approach and you're going to say he earned it, fine, I get it. Mayweather earned that shit. Let me finish. The first half of Mayweather's career, he earned what he did. Canelo has earned to do what he did. I don't like it. But I understand it, but I don't like it. But if you're going to be on the other side, you have to support, you have to agree with both of them, but you can't pick and choose.
I do agree with both of them, because when you earn something, that means you get treated differently. That's just life, period. You can't get mad at Canelo because of what he's doing now. Why you not getting mad at them other fighters for not fighting each other?
Because they're not the face of boxing.
Hold up,
they're not the face of boxing.
How did he didn't just become the face of boxing, just get it out his mama wound. He became the face of boxing because he earned the shit. Like you said, Floyd Mayweather earned that shit. He was able to do what he was able to do. Canelo earned the shit. I don't give a what fans think about, because at the end of the day, even though the fans are the real bosses of boxing, these fans ain't putting in the blood, sweat, and tears as Canelo have, and he earned this shot. Why are you gonna give Jermell Charlo or Demetrius Andrade a shot when they won't even fight each other? You should be praising Canelo because he's going up to do the unthinkable and go get that cruiserweight belt, just like Roy Jones did against John Ruiz when he went from light heavyweight to heavyweight and won the title. But people don't talk about that.
They don't talk about it, which in my opinion was also a strategic move. There was a lot of heavyweights. Why pick John Ruiz? Same reason Canelo is picking Macaboo. Same reason Floyd Mayweather picked Conor McGregor. It's strategic, and you're right. These guys earned it. They earned it. I'm not taking that away from them. But I believe with all my heart that Floyd Mayweather tainted today's welterweight division. He did it by picking and choosing his fights, protecting his zero. Mayweather earned that shit. You know who didn't earn that shit? Spence, Tank, all these guys protecting their undefeated record. Mayweather set the precedent for what we hate about boxing today. Canelo is setting the precedent for what we're going to hate about boxing tomorrow.
No, but Mayweather set the precedence when he was in his 20s and coming up. He was fighting the fights that he was supposed to fight. So don't say he tainted it. Mayweather earned his right to take easy fights at the latter of his career. Just like, this ain't no
easy fights.
No, to take easier fights or whatever. He earned that. But Canelo ain't taking no easier fight. Canelo is going up to cruiserweight. It may not be a guy we ain't never known, and I agree. But at least he going up to give greatness to the situation, and you hating on that.
I'm not hating on it, but you know what? Benavidez can beat Macaboo. Bevo can beat Macaboo. Beterbiev can beat Macaboo. Every other champion of cruiserweight, I don't really know their damn names because who gives a shit about cruiserweight, to be honest with you, can beat Macaboo. Like, it's not that great a thing. But you know what? Canelo gets to pull the strings. Yeah, he earned it. He's the face of boxing.
So what is your problem then, JJ?
My face of boxing.
If you say he earned it, what is your problem?
He earned the right to pull some bullshit.
What bullshit is he pulling?
He ain't fighting the fights we want to see.
What you mean he ain't fighting the fights?
I'm not saying
What fight out there, JJ?
Bro, I want to see him fight Andre. I want to see him fight. And only to shut the haters up. Because I know Canelo can shut the haters up. The Andre ain't done shit that scared me. Charlo ain't done shit that scared me. Canelo, here's what I'm gonna finish off. At the end of Mayweather's career, he left room for debate from all the Mayweather haters. By the way he finished his career. Why did he do that when he could have shut them all up? He could have beat Thurman, he could have beat Porter, he could have beat Bradley. Canelo is leaving room for debate at the end of his career.
Let me ask you a question. Do Andre beat Canelo?
Do Andre
and yes or
Absolutely
no?
not.
Do Charlo
Absolutely not.
So how is he leaving debate if you yourself said none of them fighters beat him? What them fighters
Because it's just an opinion.
No, that's the facts. Everybody, not only will you say
Let's make it happen. Let's see
it happen. Make them fight each other first before they want to get this $1 million payday from Canelo.
That's another argument. Why aren't Charlo and Andre fighting? That's another. I'm talking about Canelo. Give one of them an opportunity and shut the people up.
Give them an opportunity when they don't even want to give each other an opportunity, JJ. Make that make sense to me.
Because of the Mayweather precedents of protecting the undefeated record, bro.
For who? Them fighters?
Them fighters. That's a precedent that Mayweather set.
No, don't blame it on Mayweather because Mayweather earned everything he earned. See, I'm tired of people around the world saying Mayweather.
I'm not saying he didn't.
No, I'm saying not just you, it's a lot of people around the world saying Mayweather set this precedence. No, he didn't. Mayweather showed us when he was coming up young, fighting all the fights after fights after fights after fights. Just because these other guys seem flawed in the ladder of his career, do what he do, that's their fault. They should know the younger flawed.
Easier route to 50-0.
No, Canelo.
Easier route to undisputed.
So Canelo, how's it the easier? See, there you go. See, that's discredit from Canelo. He didn't tell Benavidez to, do that weird stuff and get his belt took or eat the extra chicken and lose his belt on the scale. He didn't tell Benavidez to do that because Benavidez held the WBC title.
Prove to the world.
Go prove to what?
That's his belt and not Benavidez's belt.
Hold up. So
Benavidez didn't lose to a person. Benavidez lost to himself.
All right, JJ. Do you think Canelo beat Benavidez?
Absolutely.
So what you talk? So what you got to prove then?
He has to prove it. That's why we fight the fights. If we just said this guy's gonna win, this guy's gonna win, this guy's gonna win, we don't have fights.
No, but you actually know.
Every man
who's the number one pound for pound fighter?
Canelo.
Okay, so if he's your number one pound for pound fighter in the world, JJ, you telling me and not everybody in the world.
The same
No. You telling me that Canelo is that guy? What your eyes done seen of him do in that ring? You can't ask him to give these other guys opportunity. Who the hell have Benavidez fought?
Who has McAboo fought?
Who has Benavidez fought?
I get that he's chasing that title.
McAboo.
Listen, if Usyk, I'm gonna make this in front of all the audience, in front of you. Listen, if Canelo Alvarez fights Usyk at cruiser and light heavyweight, I will shut the hell up. I will go to a local tattoo shop. I'll put a Canelo Alvarez tattoo on my thigh. I know he won't fight the big name. Hey, you guys gotta hear, y'all heard it here first.
Hold up. Why you mentioning Usyk? He the heavyweight champion.
Because Usyk, he's been in conversation.
Y'all see that? Y'all see that?
No.
See, so it's now.
He won't touch Usyk.
No, it's now no right and wrong. If Canelo got to fight Usyk, now he got to jump from 168 to go over 230 plus pounds to fight Usyk.
I said if Usyk comes down to cruiser.
No, even if he come to cruiser, what? He got to prove that to you?
Not to me, to the fan base.
He done proved everything to the fan base.
If you want to call yourself a cruiserweight champ, go beat the champs. Not a champ that you have to use. Who's McAboo's greatest fight?
McAboo.
Who's his greatest opponent?
No, I don't know, and don't nobody know. But look, McAboo.
Exactly.
Did Canelo?
Nobody knows.
Did Canelo just become undisputed champion?
Yes.
So what?
And I was so happy.
So what is the problem then, JJ?
Because after they said that, they were telling us after Canelo gets his undisputed belt, we're going to either go after Benavidez or Charlo. And bro, I was so happy. I was like, yes, he's finally shutting up the crowd. Then they hit us with McAboo at cruiserweight.
So what? What you mean?
Why you gonna skip Bebo and Better Be at 175?
Hold up. Better Be already got a fight lined up anyway. But McAboo.
So does McAboo.
But so what? That's going up. You ain't giving him credit for going up I'm damn near 200 pounds, bro.
Spence could go up and be
Spence
Macabu,
can't
bro.
go up and be
Spence could be Macabu, bro.
That's another. Spence
Who
don't
the
even
hell is
Spence
Macabu,
don't even
bro?
want to fight Terrence Crawford, so you think
Hey,
he actually go up and fight Macabu?
Listen, we're running out of time, but we'll continue this conversation on the Spit Bucket Unscripted on YouTube, so don't look out for that. We're running out of time. But bro, you got me heated. My legs are shaking.
Yeah, because the thing about it is, you like to discredit Canelo.
No, I don't, man.
And he done already showed greatness in this sport.
Greatness.
And then you want to talk about Charlo and Demetrius Andrade. Stop that.
I'm not talking. Give us the fights we want to see. We're paying for these fights. Give us the fights we want to see. All right, y'all. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Y'all be sure to go in and follow us on social media. On Facebook, look for the Spit Bucket Podcast. Instagram, we're at the Spit Bucket Official. You want to check out our merch site? We got hoodies, we got caps, we got t-shirts, tank tops for the summertime. Go to thespitbucketpodcast.com and listen, we've got huge announcements in this metaverse. Y'all go check out tsbnft.com. Get yourself an NFT. You'll have access to our next big giant event in May. We'll share more about that down the road. But hey, tell them about our foundation.
Oh, yeah. And also, we have the TSB Warriors Foundation, where 10% of everything we make goes back to boxers who's been fatally injured in the ring. So we want everybody to support us the best way y'all can, because we're going to be the first boxing podcast to give 10% of our proceeds to all fighters who's been fatally injured in the boxing ring.
Yep, thank you guys very much. We appreciate the support. Like, share, tell your friends, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys next week. Peace.